Hi everyone, it's Margaret Duplashane, and today I wanted to talk to you about how being a ketogenic fat burning machine can help your exercise performance. First, a quick introduction. I am a 55-year-old fitness instructor and avid runner and have been running for many years. And since I started utilizing intermittent fasting and ketogenic aligned eating, it has completely changed so many areas of my life, not the least of which is my exercise performance and how I recover from exercise. It's been an amazing shift. First, I want to define what it is when you transition to become a fat adapted exerciser. You can get into this zone a couple different ways. You can use intermittent fasting to get your body into a state of ketosis where it shifts from burning sugar to fuel and uses your stored body fat to convert to ketones for energy. You can also do a ketogenic diet, so you can get into fasting, ketosis by fasting, or nutritional ketosis. There's also another way. You can drink exogenous ketones and you can get yourself into ketosis that way. However, I think it works best if you use that as kind of a supplement towards one of those other ways, and it just enhances your results. So you're training your body to use its stored fat for fuel instead of relying on carbs. So there's a big difference there. When your body is running on carbs, sugars for fuel, you're going to feel a lot more inflammation, you're going to wear out quicker, you're going to have to keep putting carbs in. When your body uses ketones for fuel, the energy is steady and smooth. Now, I can attest to this because I ran my first half marathon a couple months ago as a fat adapted athlete, and it was just smooth sailing. I didn't get those energy dips up and down. And I find the same thing when I'm teaching my fitness classes. I can go in and teach them fasted and run off of stored body fat and the ketones my body is making, and it's just so smooth and steady. I don't get shaky and I don't get tired anymore. And there's also a much better recovery to it. Now, I'll be putting this all to the test again. I have another half marathon tomorrow. And what is quite amazing is when you get into this lifestyle, you just don't get the stomach bloating, the slowness, the heaviness. So that's something to consider. You're going to perform so much better. So that leads me to when you are fueling on ketones and you become fat adapted and you make the decision to either do intermittent fasting or eat a ketogenic diet. With ketones in your system, your brain is extremely happy. A brain on ketones is a happy brain. And when your brain is happy and you're going to do a workout, guess what? Your workout seems a lot easier. And this leads us into an interesting theory called the central governor theory. And that was popularized by Dr. Timothy Noakes. He's a South African physiologist. And the theory goes something like this. I'm just going to summarize it quickly. That it's your brain, not your muscles, that decides when you're done with your workout or your long distance run or whatever it is you're doing physically. That when you hit that wall, your muscles still have some glycogen stores in them, but your brain, as the central governor, kicks in and says, I'm done, because it's trying to protect you from running out of energy and having that horrible feeling. But the truth is, you really will never run out of energy because we have plenty of body fat stored, and our body fat can fuel us. But our brain just isn't used to that. But when you train it to become that way and you're running on ketones, it's an amazing thing. So a brain on ketones can make your workout seem easier. And who doesn't want that? That's great. And again, I can attest to that. The last long race I did, I felt like it went by in a flash. I usually know where I get really, for me, it's between around mile 9 and 11. I just start to kind of mentally drift off, and I'm just thinking, when is this over? And fascinatingly, I just sort of stayed really steady and focused through those miles that are usually kind of ick for me in a race. So definitely going to be putting that to the test again. So when you make the shift, here's some other great benefits you're going to reap. You won't have to be taking in carbs during those long runs, which also means you're going to have less risk of digestive stress. You're not going to have the inflammation you have from the carbs and the sugars, so you're not going to be as sore after your race, which also happened to me last time. I was much less sore. And you also don't have to do a big, huge carb refeed when you're done with your workout or race or event, whatever it is. And by not having to slam a bunch of carbs in your body right afterwards, you're going to allow your system to work on recovering and not have to work on breaking down a huge meal, which again means you're not going to be as tired and sore the next day. And that's a huge plus. So you may not be going out and running a half marathon tomorrow, but after hearing all of this, this may entice you to want to incorporate something like this into your lifestyle for whatever kind of exercise you're doing, or especially if you're a runner. This is the way to go. I am telling you, it is just an amazing shift. All right, so that's your lesson and tips today on being a fat adapted athlete. And if you have any interest in diving deeper on that, just shoot me a message. We can talk. Thanks. Have a good one. Bye.